need to be asked. That's what I mean you're confused about. Is that clear?
What does it mean to say that someone is confused about a given concept?
When you don't know something which is very widely known, for example.
So when you don't know something, which is what? Sorry, could you see the sentence?
Very, very widely known, then I would say that you're confused, yes.
Don't know something which is very widely known.
Yeah, I feel like that if you ask
Okay,
most
cool.
people,
So just a
observable
couple of
phenomena
things. Just a
explains things
couple of
better,
things. Hold
non-observable
on, hold
phenomena,
on.
they would say
So
yes, it
yeah,
explains it
just
better.
relax for a second, dude. So how do you go around corroborating that it is widely known that it is the case that these types of phenomena are basically better explanatory equipments or tools, or easier to explain given data?
We could just ask everyone in call right now. Like, it's pretty clear.
That doesn't mean it's very widely known. It could be that it is very widely believed in, right? Belief is
Okay,
different
that's
from
what I mean.
knowledge. You can
Okay,
have a
okay.
given
Oh my
proposition.
gosh.
You can have a given proposition, for example, which is widely believed in, right? That means the vast
Yeah.
majority of people believe in something, but it is not the case. It is something which is known because the beliefs is not something which is reflective of their justificatory system. It's not even justified to begin with. I can give
Okay.
several examples.
The reason for why I'm
Yeah,
saying it's known is because it's true, obviously. So it's not just a
it's
belief, it's
true.
like
Why is it
actually
true?
true.
So you want to defend Birch claim right now? Why is
Yeah.
it true? Tell me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can. So clearly, if okay, so do you know what a
You think
reference
it
is?
is universally true, correct?
Do you know what a reference is?
Do you think it is universally true?
I
Answer my
asked you a
question.
question. May you answer
No,
my
I
question
didn't. You
first?
asked me the question after I've asked you the question, which is if you believe it is universally true. So answer my
That's
question.
not even true.
Do
Okay,
you
just to
believe
be
it
good
is
faith, just to
universally
be good
true?
faith. Stop what we're talking
Why are
about.
you so
Just to be good
scared?
faith.
Why are you so scared to
Just to
answer
be
my
good faith,
question?
I'll say I'm not sure. But all I'm saying is that
So is it
it's obviously
universally
true,
true?
and the
Yes or
reason for that
no?
is it's to do with
Is
reference. Do you
it
know what a reference is?
universally true? Yes or no?
I said I'm not sure. Not know
So
that it
you don't know
matters.
if it is universally true, but you think it is the case that this thing is some sort of like true proposition insofar as it is true beyond the reasonable doubt. So just to be clear on this, do you understand that the whole argument that Bridge was saying is that given that proposition, it logically follows that the position of anti-realism would be more likely to be true than the position of realism if you're to go under some robust moral realist position, whereas it postulates non-natural entities to explain the moral deity. You understand this, right?
I understand that, but that's irrelevant to what I'm saying. I'm saying
Okay,
that
so
what you're
I'm
asking
glad
is
you
so
say
retarded.
yes, you understand that
What you're
because if
asking
now
is
if you
so retarded.
understand that, you just have conceded because guess
Oh my
what?
gosh.
For that
What?
claim to be true specifically, for it to be the case, it
You're
logically
so confused.
follows from that proposition. And you think that speaking in the background is rhetorically dominant, so it isn't, by the way. But if you
Yeah, it's
agree
okay.
that that specifically is the argument that he was given specifically, which is that it logically follows from that proposition being true that it would be the case that anti-realism is more likely, then if you're going to now say you don't even know if it is universally true, then that means it allows for case scenarios or the possibility of case scenarios, whereas you can have an observable phenomena which would not even satisfy the criteria is mentioning. And so you could
Dude,
not even
I'm not
adopt the
talking
position
about
that
his
logically
overarching
follows
argument. You're
anymore.
confused, dude, bro. I'm not talking about his overarching argument. I'm saying that questioning this specific claim is
I'm not
retarded.
saying you're talking about the overarching arguments.
Okay, so it's your
I'm
point.
saying this
That's the
is a
point.
consequence of
What you're
you not
saying is,
knowing the specific
bro. Oh my gosh, this
proposition
is
being
irrelevant,
universally true.
dude.
So
Do
basically, you're
you
just being
understand
an
what I'm saying right now?
obscurantist. You're
I'm
being an
not talking about his
obscurantist.
argument for
You're
anti-realism.
being
I'm
an
saying that
obscurantist now, huh?
that
Huh?
non-observable phenomena explains things better, or as well as observable phenomena is retarded generally.
Do you agree
Like
he's
really,
saying
face
that?
value.
What? Do you agree he's saying that in the context of an ethical conversation?
Obviously, yes. Hello.
Okay, so it's contextually indexed to his justification for his position, correct? So one can neglect or
Yeah,
dismiss
obviously.
this claim on the basis of them believing it would not even be a proposition which applies truthfully in the context of the conversation. So for it to now ignore the
My belief on it
context
is
of the conversation
irrelevant. My
and
belief on it is irrelevant. I'm
be like,
saying that
"But,
questioning this
I
specific
don't
context is
care. I
retarded,
don't care about the
bro.
argument. I don't care about the
Everyone guesses
context.
besides
I
you.
just care
Everyone
about that
guesses besides you.
claim." That would be retarded, Gyro, wouldn't it be?
Bro, my opinion on his
You
argument
just
is
said a
irrelevant.
while
I'm
ago it's
saying that
contextually
questioning
indexed.
a
And then
specific
now
concept that was
ignore the
claimed to be
context, which is all
was
about these
not
arguments. What are you
something
talking
smart to
about?
do. I think it's retarded to do.
Is it the case that the context of the conversation, Gyro, was about his argument and the justification?
I just answered this 2 seconds ago. Yes, obviously.
That was not the same question I've asked 2 seconds
It
ago,
was
by
the
the way.
same
But
question.
since you
Yes.
said
Yes,
yes,
it
no, it
was.
wasn't. The
Yeah, it
question
was.
I've asked 2 seconds ago is radically different, by the way, but you're just not tracking again. But moving on from this,
Oh,
as
what's
you
up with this guy?
tapped and agreed with the
Dude, can I
idea
answer your
that this
question now?
is the
Because you're
context
trying
of
to
the
talk about his argument.
conversation,
I don't care about
right?
his argument. I'm saying
You
that
just
this
said a
claim
while ago
question
that
is
you
retarded.
don't care about his
You questioning
argument.
this claim is retarded.
So basically, in other words, oh, look at the retard crashing out as he
That's
realizes
so
he's
ironic, by
getting
the way.
intellectually
Uh,
executed right
wait,
now. Look at this. And then he thinks the
that's
fake
bad.
dorky laughs is going to actually make him look dominant on the optics.
What?
Now, moving on from this, you just said a while ago
What the fuck?
specifically that it is the
Dude,
case that the context of the conversation is about the arguments, is about his argument specifically. So if you're ignoring the context by ignoring his arguments, then quite literally, you're ignoring the very fundamental thing which gives his whole claim and argument meaning, which is what you're agreeing on, you
dude, this is
moron.
irrelevant.
How
Oh
is
my
this
god.
so hard
Do you
for
want
you
me
to
to explain why it's
understand,
irrelevant?
dude?
Dude, oh my gosh. I'm not talking about his argument.
Why do you
I'm
have to
saying that this specific
every single
concept of
time you have to
question is
start his
very retarded.
sentences by saying, "Oh my gosh"? Like, you don't have to be crashing out
Yeah,
this often,
I'm
dog.
not.
Just
I'm
make the
not
freaking
crashing
point,
out.
moron.
I just think that you're being
You sound like
extremely
you're
retarded right
crashing
now. That's
out.
why I started
You
every
sound
sentence
that
with, "Oh my
way.
god." Okay, cool. Yeah. Can I explain why it's retarded
You
now?
saying you're stuttering? That's what you're saying right now?
I said, okay, cool. Can I explain why you're wrong now? Or
Continue, dude. You sound unconfident, but continue. That's fine.
yeah, I sound very confident. But yeah. Besides that,
You
the
sound
reason
very
why I'm saying it's
unconfident, by the
retarded
way.
is, do you know what a reference is?
A reference? Of course. Everyone knows what the reference is.
Okay, cool. So when you're talking about stance-dependent reasons, you already have an existing referent, and when you have stance-independent reasons, you don't have an existing referent.
That's retarded. Why is that the case?
What would you index stance-independent reasons to? That's like saying, oh yeah, you have an
Don't ask
apple.
me a
So
question.
you,
Answer
that's
my
like
question.
that's
Why
like
is it the
trying to
case?
identify. Hold on, that's
So
like trying.
I ask
Oh
you,
my god,
what's the
stop.
evidence? And you're like,
Dude, what?
I'm going to ask you a question now.
Can I
No, dude.
clarify or
Evidence does
can I
not come
finish?
in the forms of questions. Evidence
Can I
comes in the
finish?
forms of
Can I
claims
finish?
which are
Can I
factual.
finish?
So
Can
give
I
me the
finish?
hard facts. No, you're not
Can I
going to
finish?
finish because you're rambling and you're going off
I'm
point.
not
So give me
rambling.
the evidence for the
It's
claim
like,
you made.
bro,
So I'm going to stop interrupting you when you start giving me the evidence. Okay, so what's
stop
the
it
evidence for
because
the claim
it,
that stands independent reasons
there's
do
no
not
existing
qualify as
reference
reference? What's the
because
evidence?
you
Give me the hard
identify the
facts.
thing that you're talking
Give me
about
the hard
by
facts.
using something
Give me the
negative.
hard facts.
It's like saying,
Give me
it's
the
like
hard
asking,
facts. It's not
bro,
negative.
stop,
You made a positive claim. You said
stop.
specifically
Can I
that
finish?
stance
Can I
independent
finish?
reasons do not the reference.
Oh my
Give me the
god.
hard facts, dude.
Do you think this is rhetorical? Like you just keep speaking over me. I didn't
Answer
start
the
it once, by
question,
the way.
dude. What's the
I
hard
didn't start it once,
facts?
by the way. Okay,
You
okay.
actually did.
Dude, the reason
Again,
why
again,
there's
again,
no
again,
reference is
again, again.
because that's like trying to identify a tree by saying it's not an apple. Saying it's not an
Why?
apple is not dependent
Why
on
are
an
they
apple.
analogous?
Doesn't identify a
Why are they
property of a
analogous?
table.
Why are they
Because
analogous?
you're trying to identify the referent by saying it's not depending or hinging off of a stance. That doesn't tell me anything about the referent.
How does that mean it is not something which is not inclusive of a reference?
No, I'm saying that doesn't identify any sort of property besides that it's not
You said
dependent
that
on
it
a
is
stance.
something which does not have a reference. Not that it possibly does not have a
No, I'm
reference.
saying
Sorry.
that no, obviously it has the reference. I'm just saying that the referent there is not clear. You don't have
Under
a clear
both
reference.
horns of moral realism, it would have a reference. The accounts of moral realism which talks about stance independent reasons are the naturalist version and the non-naturalist version, and in very few cases are the supernaturalist version. All of those have
No, I
reference.
understand that you can
What are you
conceptualize the
talking
reference.
about,
I'm
dog?
just saying, dude, I understand
You
that you have,
said you
bro.
said
I understand
postulating
that you
that
can
there are no
conceptualize the
stance
reference.
independent.
I'm just
You
saying
said
that when you try to
postulating
conceptualize
that
the
there
reference,
are
it's hard to
stance
conceptualize
independent
within a
reasons
reason where
would be
else you
emblematic of
agree
not
that
having a
stance
reference.
exists.
What are you
That's very
talking about,
retarded.
dude?
Oh, dude,
You're
you don't
saying I'm
understand what I'm saying.
retarded after you
I'm
made a
not saying that they
retarded
don't have
dumb
a
point,
reference.
and
I'm
you
saying that it's
realized you
harder to
got fucked
conceptualize
up on
that
that
reference
point, and now you're trying to
because
move away
obviously
from the
it's trivial
claim to
that
a new
stance
point.
exists. But whatever you posit is not
Wait,
trivial.
hold
It's
on.
not
Answer my
obvious.
question. Is it the case that all forms of moral realism, which postulates equally that there are stance independent facts in the ethical domain, have reference?
Obviously, that's not what I'm saying though. I'm saying
Okay,
it's hard
so
to
you
conceptualize the
conceded. There you
reference.
go. That's retarded. So initially you
Dude,
were like,
you
"Oh,
understand
this
that
field,
tell
which
me
is
a
what moral
negative
realism
property about
is,
the reference
do
doesn't tell
not
me
have
anything about the
reference."
reference.
But then you just agreed a while ago that all versions of
What are you talking
moral
about?
realism, by definition, have reference. Of course, you don't know what I'm talking about. You're retarded. You're just not tracking the conversation. I'm going to tell you what I'm talking
What
about.
do you think my
When I'm
claim is?
talking about
What do you think
hair,
my claim
when
is?
I'm talking about hair, to which
What do
you're
you think my claim
failing
is?
to wrap your pea-sized brain around, by the way,
What do
is
you
me
think my claim
specifically
is?
saying that
You
originally
don't
you
get my
stated
claim, dude.
specifically that
Okay.
moral realism, which is the view that there stands independent facts or reasons, do not have reference. Then you agree that all versions of moral realism have reference.
Dude, that's
You're an
not what I'm saying.
imbecile,
Do you think
dog.
my
You're
claim is that more
stupid.
real does have a
Your point
reference?
got fucked up in
That's
literally
not what
less
I'm
than
saying.
two
That's not,
minutes,
dude. Do you want
bro.
me to explain again?
Less than 2
Do you want me
minutes.
to explain again? Do you want me to explain
You
again?
literally just conceded. What is there to even explain right now?
I never said
You
that more
conceded
realism.
your own
What that bridge
point
was
in
causing
less
is
than
that more
two
realism does have a
minutes.
reference.
You
I'm saying that
subhuman piece of
trivially,
trash.
when
You're
you have
so
a conceptualized
stupid.
reference such as a
Was it
stance,
not the
it's
case that you
easy
made the
to explain
claim
that.
that
Something which is not
postulates and
conceptualized,
stance
not
independent
have a
reasons and
okay.
facts are
Obviously, I can
indicative
already see
of
or
no
validate
reference? Yes or
obviously.
no? Did
But
you
what a
not make
stance
this
is.
claim? Did you not
Stop
make
we're
this
talking.
claim?
Stop we're
Did you
talking.
not make this claim?
I didn't
Yes
hear
or
your question
no?
because you were always talking.
Yes or no? Because you're busy aping over me. That's fine. So here's the
I was
question one
speaking
more
first. What are
time,
you talking
retard.
about?
The
I was literally
question
speaking
is
first.
simply
Like, what
yes
is
or
this guy
no?
talking
Did
about?
you not make the claim that postulate and stance independent facts or reasons in the domain of ethics is inclusive of an absence of reference? Yes or no?
No, that's not what I said. No.
You
What was
never
that?
said that it does not have a reference. Are you stupid? We can
I'm
roll back the
saying the
clip, by the
reference there
way.
is not clear. Oh my
You
gosh.
said that there's no reference, correct?
No, that's not what I said.
You said that
That is not what I
verbatim.
said.
Yes, you said verbatim that
That's okay. Can
postulating
someone
this
that's not what I
would
said
be
because it's literally
something
just
which
not what
does
I said.
not have a
That
reference.
is
But now
literally
you're
just not
agreeing
what I
that
said.
there is in fact reference under all versions of more realism.
That is
Look,
not
if
what
you're
I
gonna
said.
just
That is not what I
backpedal
said.
and backtrack a little bit, you are that's fine. But we know for a fact you made this claim on the clip. By the way, I can just roll back the clip after this conversation, and you'll just get
Yeah,
embarrassed, just
sure.
like all
You can.
every single one
You're
of your
missing. Bro,
friend
you're
boys
missing
have
the
been
point. So
embarrassed the entire time by
can I
me, just
clarify?
one person. And look at this guy just stumbling. This is crazy, dude.
Stop
But
trying to
moving
use
on
rhetoric.
from
Now
this,
rhetorical.
so the
Stop trying to use rhetoric.
concession was just being exposed
Stop
just
trying
for
to
the
use
clip.
rhetoric. Can I
Now,
clarify
moving
something?
on from this, what new claim do you want to introduce into the conversation, Gyro, for you to get bullied on? Tell me.
Brother, I didn't concede
I'm
anything. I
not
didn't
your
propose
brother.
anything.
I'm not your brother.
Yeah.
Please don't tell
Okay.
me that.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
your brother. Yeah, you're
Okay. Thank you.
subhuman, dude. Just answer my
Okay. Yeah.
question, dude. What other
You really
claim do
begged me
you
for
have to
money, by the way.
introduce into this
But regardless,
conversation?
Abdallah, what I'm
What are you
saying
even
is that the
saying, bro?
reference there
Just
would
learn
be
over your
unclear
words.
to conceptualize.
Do you have a
When
speech
you have a fully
impediment, bro? Like, what's
conceptualized
going
reference, such as
on?
the stance,
What's going
then
on?
it's harder to actually reference. Or sorry, it's easier
You
to
sound
reference the stance, which is
confused.
not
Are you okay,
conceptualized fully.
dude?
I
Are
don't
you
sound like anything.
confident in
I
believing
don't
in your
sound like
points right
anything.
now?
I don't.
Dog,
I sound
just
like that.
relax, bro.
You beg people for money, by the way.
What do you say, bro?
Yeah.
I can't even
Someone send a
understand or make
screenshot
up
of the guy
half of
begging for
your
money.
sentences
Someone
because you're
send
chewing over
a
your fucking
screenshot
words,
of this
bro.
guy begging
But
for money.
moving on from this,
Someone
and
send a
now he's
screenshot of this guy
moving the
begging for money.
conversation, and now he's moving the conversation away from the topic we're actually talking about. So, oh, you ask a guy for money, dog. This is how you know you lost the conversation. You have to
No, but
move away from a
bro,
different
you're missing
point.
the point. You're just always
Do you
talking.
agree that you're making the red herring fallacy right
Bro,
now?
you're
Do you
aping
agree
out.
with this?
Stop.
Is
Can
this
I
a red
clarify?
herring fallacy? And now you're using back
Can I
my line
clarify?
onto me thinking it's going to give you rhetorical points. That's crazy. Is it not the
I'm not
case you're
trying to
committing
use
the red
rhetoric,
herring
by the way.
fallacy?
I didn't go into
Is
this
it
trying
not
to
the
use
case you're
rhetoric.
committing the red herring fallacy?
Christ. Can I clarify now?
Answer the question. Yes or no?
Can I
Oh,
clarify
he's
now?
dodging
Yes
the
or no?
question.
I'm not
Oh, he's
dodging anything.
dodging the question.
I can say
Yeah,
yes
moving
or no.
on,
That's
dude. Yeah, shut the fuck
totally
up, dude. You're
irrelevant to what I'm
trash
saying.
as shit. Moving on.
I
So
can say
to
yes
be
or no.
clear,
That's
you're not
totally
making the
irrelevant to what I'm
claim
saying.
that there are no reference that are being postulated by more realism. I mean, no longer you're no longer making this claim. So now you're
That's
making
never
a
what I
new
was.
claim.
I
So
was never
so the
saying that.
new
What are you
claim
talking
now,
about?
regarding to what the new claim
I was
actually is,
never saying
how would
that.
this
I'm
be
saying that the
relevant to
reference
bridge
there is
argument?
unclear. What is not
How
clear
would
about
this
that?
be relevant to bridge argument?
Brother, because obviously if you can conceptualize the reference there easily, then that's more easily explainable by the position. Like,
That's
hello?
just repeats what Bridge said, retard. You're like, oh,
No,
obviously
I'm
it's the
saying, bro,
case
oh my
that
gosh. Because you
obviously
can't
it's the case
identify the
that
reference
proceeds
clearly.
to
You can't
insert
explain
Bridge
something which you
claim
can't
instead
identify.
of proving what Bridge
What
claim
is the
actually is.
identification? Just saying it's sense
Do you
independent doesn't
understand
identify.
that what you're doing right now is just simply reiterating Bridge
That's not what I'm
assertion, which is
doing.
not the same as you proven what
That's
the
not what I'm doing.
assertion actually is?
That's not what
That's
I'm
what you
doing,
just
dude.
did a while ago. You just said a while ago that
That's not what
obviously would be the
saying I did
case.
it again
It is
doesn't tell me anything. I
easier
just told you
to
that's not what
explain
I'm
this
doing.
given data. So what
Just
are you
telling me that
talking
again
about? That's
doesn't
what
tell me
Bridge
anything.
claim is verbatim. That's
Oh
what
my
Bridge
gosh.
claim actually is. So if you're
No,
gonna
I'm
say that
explaining why he's
specifically,
right.
then
I'm
clearly
explaining why you're
you're
wrong.
repeating what he's saying
I'm
instead of
explaining
proving
why
his own
he's right,
point.
and
What
I'm
are you
explaining why
talking
you're
about,
wrong.
dude? You're so
Oh my gosh.
lost. You're not explaining why I'm wrong. You're
Dude,
just
you're
saying that
so
I'm wrong
retarded.
because you think it is the case that Bridge claim is correct, which is just a circular argument.
No, I told you why it's correct. It's because
You didn't
obviously it's
explain
easy
why
to
it was
explain
wrong.
something which you can fully identify rather than you cannot fully identify.
Do you think it is the case that dark matter is the type of thing which is fully identifiable?
Probably not, no.
You're so lost, dude. Answer the
Is that
question.
wrong? I said probably not. No? Hello? Didn't I just say that?
Couldn't even make other sentences. It's so hard to even understand your freaking words right now. Moving on from this.
It's not
So you
really
said
hard to
probably
anyone.
not. You said probably not. Okay,
That,
moving on.
not just
So
answer the
probably
question.
not. Wait, dude, just relax,
What,
dude. You're
what?
talking about me aping us a while ago, but you're into.
I
That's just
wasn't
crazy,
aging out
dude.
once,
You're
by the
just
way.
popping
You
off.
keep always
That's
speaking me every time I
crazy.
speak.
And now he thinks talking over me to
You keep
basically
always speaking me
justify
every
me
time I
aping
speak.
out is going to actually be something which believes or makes him believe that it is something which is composure like. But moving on from that specifically, I just
Did
want to
anyone just
address a
understand
couple
what you
of
said?
things. So I wanted to
Like,
talk
what?
about the idea of you making the claim specifically that apparently it would be the case that unobservable phenomena, right, in the specific
Yeah.
context of what you're talking about, is easier to explain than observable phenomena, correct?
No, the opposite. Observable phenomena is easier to explain.
And you believe it is the case, apparently, that this is true on the basis of it being the case they have stronger empirical access trivially, correct?
Yeah, sure.
Do you believe it is the case that there are claims which aren't based off empirical observations, which you have stronger epistemic access to?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, so would you not believe that those claims would actually be the types of things which would have better explanatory, you could say, attributes for in relation to given the fact that we have stronger epistemic access to these facts?
Not really, no. All that tells you is that
So
if
hold
you have
on
a
there a
set,
second.
well, no, I need
Is
to
it the
clarify.
case that
You're confused.
explanations? Is it the case? Why are you
Dude, I
running,
need to
dude? Is
clarify.
it the
Stop.
case that explanations are
Oh my gosh.
based or derivative of our knowledge system?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay, cool. So if we have stronger epistemic access to a given set of facts or phenomena, then trivially given that
That's not
specific
what
agreement,
happened,
it would be
brother.
the case that you would have better explanations for these facts, even if these things were to be unobservable. And you agreed a while ago that
That's
there
not what
is
you told me.
unobservable
Um,
phenomena which we have stronger epistemic access to, dog.
dude, all you told me is that if you have a set of unobservable things, then you'd have an easier time predicting those unobservable things because
Is
of the
that
intuition.
what you
That's what you said
drew
in the
from what I just
conversation.
said a while ago,
And
dog?
then and then
Genuinely?
and then with observable
Is
things
this
it'd
what
be
you drew from
harder.
what I just
But
said?
then if you have an observable identifiable thing, then that doesn't tell me anything in relation to how it's able to be identified
You
with or
stated
explained by
specifically that
in relation to an
explanations are derivative
unobservable thing. It doesn't
from
tell me
our
anything.
epistemology.
You
You
didn't
said
you didn't tell me that
explanations
we
are
have
derivative
easier
from our
time to
knowledge
access
system.
unobservable things.
But you're just derailing from the subject, dog. You stated that
You made it
explanations are
massively
derivative.
logic. You made it
You said
massively logic.
explanations are derivative from our epistemology. Then you agreed that it would be the case that there are, in fact, unobservable phenomena with stronger epistemological access to than observable phenomena. It follows from
Bro,
these two
obviously.
sets of propositions you
Just because
consented
it's
on that
true,
it would
bro.
be the
Just
case
because
that it
bro,
would be
please.
the case
Oh my god.
that there are, in fact, unobservable phenomena that we have stronger and better and easier explanations for.
I
What's
agree
so
that
hard to
there's
track about this?
I agree that there's unobservable phenomena which can be better explained than observable phenomena. I don't
And which
agree
can
that
be
all
easier to be
unobservable
explained?
phenomena is
That's
better
crazy, bro. You
explained
just
than observable
conceded.
phenomena. That's a different
You
claim.
just conceded. You
That's a
stated
different
on
claim.
the
I agree that
recording,
there's
on this
some,
recording, you
but
said that
generally
it
speaking,
is not
obviously
the
we have an
case.
easier
You
time
said it is
identifying
trivially
observable
the
phenomena. It's so
case.
fucking
You said it
retardedly
is trivially the
altruistically true.
case that
It's
observable
so
phenomena
obvious.
is
So
easier
obvious.
to explain than unobservable phenomena.
No, there's
Now you
some.
agree
Oh my
that
gosh,
there
you
are in
understand what
fact
some means? There's
unobservable
some
phenomena
non-observable
which
phenomena
is
which is easier
easier
to
to
explain than
explain than the
some
latter.
observable
So that you
phenomena.
conceded
Doesn't
on
mean
the
that
proposition,
non-observable
dog.
phenomena is generally easier to explain.
You
Hello?
just stated now you're
That's a different
changing the
claim.
claim from this
That's a
is
different
trivially the
claim, you
case
dumb
to
retard
this is
bitch. Holy
genuinely
fuck,
the
what's wrong with this
case.
guy?
Now you're changing the position. Why is it the case
Dude, what are you
that this
talking
is
about?
trivially true? Why is it genuinely true?
Brother, do you know what some means?
Why is it genuinely true?
Bro, oh my gosh. I said that some
Why is
unobservable
it genuinely
I
true?
said that
Answer
some
the question,
unobservable
dog.
phenomena.
You made
Stop
another claim.
speaking.
You said
Stop
it is
speaking.
genuinely
Stop
correct
speaking.
that
Stop speaking. Stop speaking.
observable
Stop speaking.
phenomena is easier to
Stop speaking.
explain than unobservable phenomena. Stop speaking. Who are you to tell me that,
No,
bitch boy?
yeah, I
I'm
can
the one
because
to tell you when to stop speaking, bitch
obviously when
boy.
you can
I'm the one who
observe things, it's
control this
more
conversation,
easily
dog.
identify
Now
them. That's trivial. That's
moving on
trivial.
from this, you made another claim. You made a preposterous,
Brother,
unsubstantiated claim when
dude,
you
you
made
don't
the
understand what I'm
assertion
saying.
that,
First of all, let me
genuinely
just
speaking,
explain why I didn't concede.
observable
All I said
phenomena
is
is
that some
easier to
unobservable phenomena
explain
is
than
easier to explain
unobservable phenomena.
than
I'm
some
asking for the
observable phenomena.
justification for this claim.
Generally,
What's the
when you can
justification,
actually
dog?
identify something
What's
with
the
your
evidence?
senses
What's the
being
evidence? We're
observable,
waiting for
right?
the hard
Stop,
facts.
stop speaking. Stop
Where are the
speaking.
hard facts which demonstrates this to be the case?
Stop
Give me the hard
speaking.
facts.
Okay? Stop
Give me the
speaking.
hard facts.
Yeah, I'll explain to you. It's very
Give me the
trivial.
hard facts.
I'll explain
Stop
it to you.
whining, bro. Just give the proof,
I'll
bro.
explain it to you. Stop speaking. I'm gonna give you the answer. First of all, I'll explain to you why I didn't concede. I don't think you understand that. I said that some unobservable phenomena is better explained than some observable phenomena. Not all. Not all unobservable phenomena
Do you
is
think
better
that's
explained
Bridge
than
claim right now?
not all observable phenomena. And besides
Do you
that,
think Bridge claim is just merely him making the assertion that some observable phenomena is easier to explain? You think that's the only thing Bridge is trying to claim in that conversation?
generally,
Because I
presumably,
can
yeah.
DM Bridge right
Yeah,
now
that's
and ask
exactly
him
what you're
right now,
saying.
and you literally shit
Yeah,
on your
you can
point.
ask him. And
You
by the way, I'll
literally
just explain to you why
point
you're wrong
out
as
as
well
to
on
why
that.
you're not even
Because
tracking his own
obviously, hold on,
point
do
to
you
even
agree
say I
that?
was losing
Hold on,
on
do you
that
agree
point.
that? Hold on.
Do you
Besides
think
that,
it is the case
do
that
you
you
agree? Hold
stating
on.
that
Nah,
some
dude, oh my
observable
gosh.
phenomenon
This is
is
meta.
easier to
This is
explain
meta.
than
Stop. This is meta.
unobservable phenomenon is sufficient to agree with Bridge proposition?
I think generally, if it's
Is it
bro, yes,
sufficient
most. If
for it to
it's
be in
most
agreement with
observable
what Bridge is
phenomena are
saying?
easier to
Yes or
explain than
no?
most
Yes or
unobservable
no? Answer
phenomena,
the
then
question.
yes, that
Yes or
would
no?
help
Is it
Bruce position.
sufficient?
That's what he's
Yes or
saying.
no? Is it sufficient?
If it's most, yeah.
If it's most and you say it's in some is different. You're saying
I didn't
for you
say
to
he said
say
it's
that there
some.
are
I didn't say
some
he said some.
observable phenomena which is
Bro,
easier
dude,
to
you're so retarded.
explain than
Bro, can
unobservable
I
phenomena.
explain to
Is
you
it
why it's easier to
sufficient
explain?
for
Because
Come
you
you
asked
to
me a
rehab, come
question.
explain
rehab, come
Can
rehab.
I finish
adopt
something?
Bridges' position? Yes
Can
or
I finish
no?
something? Can I
Yes
finish
or
what I'm saying?
no? I want a
Can I
yes or no to
finish
my
what I'm saying?
question.
May
I
I
Come
want
finish?
a
I
yes
know
rehab,
or no
you
to
come
my
want
rehab.
something.
question.
I want to
I
finish though.
want a yes or no to my
I want to
question. Answer my
finish.
question.
Can I finish?
Yes or no? I don't want the
Dude,
TED
oh
talk.
my
I
gosh.
want a yes or no, by the way.
Okay, I'm not gonna. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna answer
Don't give
until
me
you
a
let me
TED
speak.
talk. Just give me a yes or no, then clarify
This is like
afterwards,
actually
retard.
social happiness. I need to finish
This is
what I'm
actually
saying first
still a
before I
test.
answer
You're
your
still going
question.
to derail and then
I
just
need to
storm go
finish
with
what
your
I'm
questions,
saying
dog.
before I answer your
Come
question.
rehab, come rehab.
Oh, so in other words, you need to dodge my question to not answer my question.
No,
Gotcha.
I'm not.
Cool.
Oh
Go
my
for it,
gosh,
shit
you can
pal.
restate your question after I'm done speaking. Okay, thank you. Okay, trivially, I'll explain to you why. Is because obviously your sense data or me being able to observe things would help me identify those things or identify properties of those those things. If you're not able to be observed, that trivially takes away the method of me observing some of those properties. Now you can have intuition, so you can have other methods of actually observing them. But then if you take one away, then they're trivially harder to fucking observe or harder to explain.
Why?
We just lose on that. It's one
First and
less
foremost, in
property,
the
bro.
cases of empirical
I
phenomena,
mean,
by the
why?
way,
It's one less
the only
method.
means by which we justify and even have knowledge of these given phenomena is by virtue of using empirical equipments, right? I think empirical equipments there's a larger epistemic gap between empirical knowledge and the world we live in contrast with a priori intuitions. So that claim is just something which is not true, by the way.
That's right.
The reason why that's true is because of the preponderance of all the mathematical facts and logic, which specifically is reflective of the types of things which are known a priori, which, by the way, has 0 degree of fallibility, meaning that it is impossible for them to be incorrect because they're guaranteed given the very fundamental conceptual schemes slash axioms that we utilize in their epistemology. So if you want to make a generality claim, if you want to say this is generally true, then basically you'd
Yeah.
have to basically quantify all these given empirical claims, or you could say phenomena that exist in the universe, and basically say, oh, the amount of empirical phenomena that we use to explain given things in the universe, or that we explain in the universe, is more than the non-empirical phenomena, which should cover things like logic or mathematics and other given fields like that. And that would be a claim which you cannot prove, obviously, because you can't just numerically quantify these given subcategories and then say, okay, given this, there's more phenomena in this particular field. So if you want to make that claim, your claim just get messed up in like literally less than 1 minute. Now, if you're making the other claim specifically, which is that you're just merely making the assertion that just some of these phenomena are the types of things which are, you could say, better or easier to explain than the
That's not what I said.
non-empirical phenomena, which is something you say this verbatim, by the way. You said that you're making the claim that just only some of these things are. When you attempted to justify the position the first time and realized you could have not justified the position, so you had to move away to the some claim, by the way. But when you
Yeah, I never said
moved away to
some.
the new claim, which is that only some of the empirical
Dude,
phenomena is easier to explain than the non-empirical phenomena,
you
I
can
then
ask,
ask you the
yes,
other
you know.
question, which is simply, is it the case, yes or no, that this would be sufficient to agree with Bridges' position? Just you saying some empirical phenomenon is
I never
easier to
said
explain.
some.
Is
Oh my
that
gosh.
sufficient?
No,
Yes or
I was
no?
talking about a different thing. Stop.
You're
If it
talking about a
snows, then
different thing
yeah.
which is not
I'll
relevant to the
explain to you why it snows.
conversation
Come
now.
on,
That's
let me
crazy,
explain to you why
bro.
you're retarded.
So now you're just going
Stop.
off points
Stop. Can I
again.
finish now?
You're just going off
Notice how I
points
just
again.
let you speak for this whole time? Can you let me
Yeah,
speak
because
now?
you're a bitch boy. You're a good boy. You have
Me
the ability to
letting you
speak,
speak
bitch
is me
boy.
being
We're
ignorant.
moving
Okay,
on.
yeah.
Why
You're
may
gonna
I
ask,
We understand
yes or
everything
no?
that
You're
you
gonna
need
ask
to
my
know now. Okay,
question,
thank
dog.
you. But no,
You're gonna
let me
ask my
finish now.
question,
Okay,
dog.
let me
Yes
speak.
or
Let me speak.
no?
Let me speak. Let me speak.
I'm waiting for a yes or no, dog. You've been
Bro,
dodging my question for
the only thing
15
you told
minutes,
me
bro.
about the only thing you told me about the a priori stuff, or the things that are not observable by intuition,
I'm
is that
waiting for a yes or no.
intuitions there would be infallible. Obviously, when you have an intuition about an infallible thing, then the intuition there would be infallible about the infallible thing. That's trivial. But then we still can have intuitions about observable stuff. So we have two methods. We can observe them and we can have intuitions about them. So when you talk about non-observable stuff, you can only have intuitions about them. And trivially, when you talk about a priori stuff, the intuitions there would be infallible. That's trivial. Holy fuck.
Do you know what intuitions are, bro?
Yeah.
You understand that for any intuition next, it's either empirical or non-empirical, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so you understand that when you're saying specifically that, oh, the reason as to why the other one is worse or is harder to explain is because it does not have the senses criteria. That's retarded, bro. It's not the case that the senses themselves are separate from the intuitions. The senses would classify as a form of intuition, and so far, it's an immediate experience. It's immediate.
Okay. So what?
Immediate
I got it.
experiences, which gives an epistemic agent the sort of attitude to
You don't.
believe in
You
a
can't have
proposition,
that without non-observable things. That's the point.
is
You
what
can't have that type of
qualifies
intuition.
is what qualifies as an
That was the
intuition,
point. You
bro.
can't have those type of intuitions about non-observable things. That's the point.
You can't have intuitions about non-observable things as your
You
claim.
can't have those types of intuitions about non-observable things. Yes, obviously.
How is this relevant to whether or not it is the case that the non-observable phenomenon is harder to explain?
You have less ways of explaining it. That's the point. So when you
Are
have
you stupid? No,
intuitions
that's
about
not
them,
even
obviously
true.
they're going to be infallible. But then
First
that's
and
trivial
foremost, just
because
to
the
be clear on
phenomenon itself
something,
is
I
infallible.
can use the same
That
logic
doesn't
on
tell
you.
me
I
anything
can
about
say
the intuition.
specifically, I
It
can
has
tell you right
nothing to do with
now,
intuition.
I can tell you right now that regarding the empirical phenomena that we're trying to basically deduce or justify, you can see that in most cases, it is the case that empirical phenomena don't have a priori intuitions. We don't use a priori intuitions to know the empirical phenomena or
Because they're
even
not a
explain the
priori.
empirical
That's the point.
phenomena.
The phenomenon there is not a priori. Hello?
So you agree with me that just
Empirical
like how
meaning
you're
it.
making the
Oh my
argument,
gosh,
so
dude.
you agree with me, just like how you're making the
I told you
argument
that it's
that, oh,
trivial because when you have an a priori
non-empirical
phenomena or a
phenomena does not
non-observable
use a
phenomena, the
posteriori
intuition there would
intuitions,
be
and that
infallible
automatically
because
favors your
it's
position.
about
I can
a
flip that same
non-observable
logic back
phenomenon.
onto you by
When you
saying,
have an
oh,
observable phenomenon, you can have more
a
types of intuition.
non-empirical
Then
phenomenon
we
does
still
not
have
use
more
a
trivially ways
posteriori
of explaining
Guys,
intuitions.
it.
keep
And
it
so in either case, it
cordial.
favors my
Keep
position,
it
bro.
Yeah,
cordial.
can't
Come
This is the
on.
same
holy
thing
fuck.
you're using right now to mess
One
up
at
your
a
position because
Apollo,
right now
one at
you're
a
saying
time.
that, oh, because the empirical phenomena does not use this particular type of intuition, then it is the case apparently that this would be something which has
Or it's easier to explain. Well, I can say the same thing insofar as I can make the argument and say, well, guess what? Empirical phenomena does not utilize a priori intuitions, mathematical type intuitions, which the
No shit.
non-empirical phenomenon
It's not a
utilizes,
mathematical
and so that's
phenomenon.
the evidence
No
for my
shit. That's
position.
trivial. That's trivial. Because,
Okay, so
bro,
you
obviously
agree that this trivial
when you have
point
an
would
intuition,
mess
no,
up your
stop
overall
speaking. That's trivial.
justification,
Stop,
you
stop, stop, stop,
dumbass,
stop.
you
Obviously, you
stupid
can't have an
moron.
a
You
priori
disagree that it is
intuition
trivially
about
true
something
that
which
your
is not a
argument is
priori.
trash.
That's
You
begging the
disagree that
question.
it's trivially true,
That's
your
the question
argument is
bag.
bogus.
That's
Because
the
if you're
question
going to
bag.
now agree
Because you
that
told me
there
that
are some
a
type of
priori intuitions would
equipment
just be
which are
better than
used to
non a priori
explain
intuitions
non-empirical
because they're a
phenomena,
priori.
which is
I
not
agree they're a
used
priori,
to
but
explain
that's
empirical
trivial because
phenomena,
they're talking
then
about
given
a
your own
priori
trash
phenomena.
logic, you
You
then have
can't
to
say that they're
agree that
stronger or
non-empirical
better
phenomena is
explaining
easier to
intuitions.
explain than the empirical
Dude,
phenomena, which overall contradicts your primary assertion, dog.
you,
You're
you don't
embarrassing.
bro, you don't get what I'm saying, dude. Again, you understand that telling me
You just
that
made a
a priori
trash
intuitions are
argument,
things
which
that
was
actually
basically
map onto a
dismantled
priori
your
things, which
own
is
position
mathematics,
in
are
less
better
than
because you're
2
talking about
minutes,
a priori
bro.
things is a question bag. You understand that? You understand how that's a question bag? First of all, that's the question bag. Second of all, it's trivial because I'm saying that
So question
you
bag,
still
do you
have
know what the
you
question
still
bag
have these
is?
types of intuitions,
Do you know what the
and
question bag is,
obviously they're
dude?
infallible for observable phenomena, but then you still have more ways of explaining the observable phenomena. It's very trivial.
You said it has more ways because of the fact that the non-empirical phenomena and how we explain those things and even know those stuff is not even grounded in the empirical, you could say, equipments or the empirical senses or the sense
Yeah, obviously.
experiences. Now, if you're going to say specifically that just because the non-empirical phenomena has this type of, or has an absence of access to this particular equipment, which is used to know / explain empirical phenomena, I can use the same logic back onto you, dog. I can say that the empirical phenomena and how we know and explain these things lacks a particular type of equipment that the non-empirical phenomena uses to explain that non-empirical
That's
phenomena,
not
or
provable
even
though.
know those
That's the claim.
non-empirical phenomena.
That's the claim.
Those
That's the
specific
claim.
equipments being
That's
the
the
a
claim.
priori
Hello?
intuitions, to which you
You,
agree is trivially
wait, you
correct.
need to prove
Now,
that though. You need to prove that.
your
I
own
don't grant that.
argument
I don't
entails
grant that.
that it is the case that the
No, I
non-empirical
understand that that
phenomena
would be a
is
good
easier to
response, but then you need
explain
to prove
and
that
has
though.
more ways to
Yes,
explain the
you need to
data
prove
than
that.
the
You literally need to
empirical
prove that.
phenomena.
Hold on, you prove that claim real quick.
Excuse me?
Prove that claim real quick that you just responded to me with.
Which claim?
Christ. Oh my gosh. So everyone else heard it, but you didn't hear it. Okay. So I'll repeat it back to you. You said that these a priori intuitions would also have this type of intuition which wouldn't be accessible towards empirical phenomena or
You
observable
said it's
phenomena.
trivially true. If that's
No,
the
I
claim you're
said that
talking about, that's the claim you agreed on. You said that
trivially,
claim was
their
trivially true.
intuition there
You
would be a
stated that
priori.
the a
So it would
priori
be
intuitions
non-fallible.
are not
But then the same
used
type of
to
intuition can be
explain
mapped
or
out
know the
onto
empirical
observable
phenomena.
things,
So if you're
and
going
it
to
would
now
be a
question
priori.
me on the evidence for the claim you agreed with, that makes you look retarded,
I,
bro.
I didn't agree with that, by the way.
You
You're
said
not
it's
true.
trivially true on the
You're
recordings.
not true.
It's
That's not what I
trivially
said. It's
true.
surely true.
And it's
That
of
is not what I
course
said.
that
It's
trivially
surely true.
true just
That is
messes up your own
I
position.
never said that's surely true. What the fuck? Do you want me to read it again? Do you want me to repeat
You
it
said
back
it's
to you?
trivially true verbatim.
About something else, yes.
No, about the specific claim we're talking about right now. When I said
Dude, you're
specifically
not
that a
checking
priori
at fucking
intuitions
all.
are
Holy
not
fuck.
used to know empirical
Dude, this guy
phenomena,
look
you said
retarded.
that's trivially
Hold
true.
on, hold on. You want me? I'll repeat it back to you, okay?
This
Okay.
guy's actually autistic. There's no way.
What I said is surely true is that the intuition there would be infallible. But I don't agree that it's a different type of intuition than what would have been
You don't
mapped
disagree?
out to
So you agree with
observable
me.
phenomena. I agree that it's a priori, but I don't agree that it's a different type of intuition. I agree that trivially is going to be
So
infallible.
then that's the
That
whole
doesn't make
point.
it a
That's
stronger
the whole
intuition.
point. So
That
in the
doesn't make it
cases of
infallible. That
empirical
doesn't make it
phenomena, they're using different
better
types
or a
of
better way of
intuitions.
explaining than observable
They're
phenomena.
using different
It's the same
types
type
of
of intuition.
intuitions.
It's the same type of intuition.
You just said there are different types of intuitions by you literally distinguishing a priori from a posteriori
Oh, the
intuitions.
only reason it's different is because you map it out on the
Okay, so
a
now it's
priori
different after
phenomena.
you just said they're
With
the
a
same
priori
types of
phenomena.
intuitions. So now it's different
Yes.
again.
I'm saying,
So it goes from
oh
you
my
saying
gosh.
it's the same
You're not
intuitions
checking at
to it
all.
is
Like,
different
this is
to it
just
is the
not
same,
checking.
and now you're agreeing again that it is different types of intuitions.
This just
Correct?
isn't checking. This just isn't checking.
You just said a
No.
while ago they're different after you were
No, I
originally
said
saying that this
it
types of
maps out
intuition.
to it maps
You
out
just said a
onto
while ago
different
they're the
things.
same types of
It maps
intuitions, and
out
now you're
onto
agreeing with the
different things.
contrary by
But then
agreeing that they're
you can
different types
still
of
have the immediate
intuitions.
intuition about observable things. You can't have
Is
that
it the
type of
case
intuition
that
about
a priori
non-observable things.
intuitions
You can
are
still have
different
the
from
wider,
empirical
broader
intuitions?
intuition
Yes or
about
no? Yes
observable
or
things
no? Is it the case that empirical intuitions are different from a priori intuitions?
in the sense where you map it out onto different
Is it
things. Yes,
different?
the
Yes or
process there is
no?
not.
I
The
don't
process there
want
is
a
not
tech
different.
talk. I want a yes or
The
no to my
process
questions.
there is not
Yes or
different. No,
no?
the process there is not different.
They're
No,
not different. You think empirical intuitions are not different from non-empirical intuitions? You're a
the
moron,
process
bro.
by
We have
which
the
it
same
happens
clip
by yes.
too. You're
The
a
process by
retard.
which it happens by yes. The process by which it
You
happens
think
by
it
yes.
is the case that there's no differentiating feature between a non-empirical intuition and an empirical intuition?
By which they happen by, yeah, obviously. That's the whole thing
So
I'm
there's
arguing
no
against.
differentiating
That's the
feature.
whole thing I'm arguing against. You retarded?
Yes or no? There's no differentiating
Christ,
feature.
like
Are you
it
saying
took you
this?
this long to check. Holy fuck. Okay,
Yes or no?
I
Are you
guess.
saying this? It took you
Say
long
what?
to realize you're embarrassing yourself. Unironically, but
Just
look
for
at
my
this
job.
though.
You just
I
stole
would
my job.
argue
Buddy.
the answer to my
You
question, or
stole
you
my
make
job.
the claim that there are no differentiating features.
I'm saying, yeah, pretty much. You're making
Okay,
that
here's
claim.
the
You're saying that
differentiation
it's a
features make
stronger,
them
better
different.
type of intuition because
The
it maps out to an
differentiation
a priori
feature is
thing.
that
I
one is
disagree with that. It begs
ground-based
the question.
empirical
That begs the
experiences,
question
which
because we're
has
talking
a
about
larger epistemic
those
gap,
things being
and
better
the other
explained
one is
by
based
those
off
intuitions. That's the
non-empirical
same fucking
experiences.
thing, you
There you
retard.
go.
See,
Therefore, they're
ignorant.
different.
Holy
That was
fuck.
easy. That was easy.
What was easy?
You just forgot the point I just gave a while ago. I
No, I
said
was speaking.
specifically,
You
like,
were
what is
speaking while I
wrong
was
with
speaking.
you?
That's why.
Like, what
I
is
didn't
wrong
forget
with you,
anything. I just
bro?
didn't hear
The
you.
point of making this,
I didn't forget anything.
specifically
You were just
that
speaking while I
as
was
it
speaking.
relates to
I didn't
intuitions,
forget anything.
what makes them different is the fact that the empirical intuitions are grounded in empirical experiences, right? They're motivated by empirical experiences, whereas the latter is independent of empirical experiences. With the
Dude, that's
latter, you
true.
can have a
Dude, oh
world,
my
you can have
gosh.
a world where there's no sense experiences and you'd still have those intuitions. With the former, you cannot have such a world.
Wait,
And so
that's not
that
what I'm talking about. I'm
possibility
saying
with
that the
applies to
intuitions,
one
no,
but
the
not the
intuitions
other
happen
makes these
regardless of
two
whether or
types
not
of
it's empirical or
intuitions
not
in
empirical.
principle different
The
from one
intuitions
another.
there happen regardless of which is of what it maps down to.
If I
So
was to give you
it's
one fact,
regardless
which is true
of
of the
whether or not
one
it's empirical or
intuition,
not
which is
empirical. That's the
not true of
point.
the other
I don't agree
intuition,
that it's
would
dependent
you
purely on
concede they're
empirical data.
different?
I think that it maps
If
out
I
to
was to give
onto
you one
empirical data.
fact,
But
which is
obviously,
true
I'm
of
saying that
one
the same type
intuition,
of intuition
which is
will be
not true of
mapped
the
out to
other
non-empirical
intuition,
data.
would you
That's
agree
what I'm
they're
saying.
different intuitions? Yes or no?
Sorry.
If I was to give you one fact, which is true of one intuition, which is not true of the other intuition, would you concede that they're different intuitions in principle? Yes or no?
I mean, maybe I gotta see the fact first.
Yes or no? Would you agree with this? Would you agree they're
Yeah,
different if I was to give you
I just
one
answered
fact,
this. I
which
said
is true
maybe,
of
nigga.
one,
Fuck.
which is not
Like,
true
what's
of the
wrong with this
other?
guy?
I want a
I
yes or
said maybe.
no.
Yeah, you're
Maybe
not
is
getting
not a
yes.
yes or no,
Maybe.
retard.
Yeah, you're not getting yes or no. Clearly. Holy fuck.
Yeah, because you're scared of the actual question right now. Just dodge the
No,
question. So
I'm
I'm going to
literally
ask you
just
this
not sure
question.
yet. Like it
Is
happens
that
to
the
be that I'm
case,
not
yes
sure
or
about this
no,
question.
that for
Yeah,
two
sorry, my bad.
objects, for two things to be identical, all things, which is true of A, has to be true of B, and vice versa?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, cool. So that means if I was to give you one fact, which is not true of A, which is true of B, then by definition, they'll be different, given your own agreement.
No,
Okay,
when you
so
say
given this
true, I'm
stuff,
just thinking of what they
so
map onto.
you
I
just said
I don't think that's the
specifically
property
that
of the
it would
intuition, though.
actually be
I don't
different
think that's the
because of
property
the
of the
fact
intuition, what they
that
map onto.
there would be one fact which would be true of one object, which is not true of the other object. So here's one fact which is true of non-empirical intuitions, which is not true of empirical intuitions. This fact is, it is logically possible for there to be a world where there are no sense experiences by any agents whatsoever, and we still have non-empirical intuitions, but it is not logically possible for it to have such a world in the case of there's no world with no sense experiences and you still have empirical intuitions. So this possibility applies to non-empirical intuitions, but it does not apply to empirical intuitions. So that's a fact which is true of non-empirical intuitions, which is, or that's a fact which is true of empirical intuitions, or I could say not true of empirical intuitions, which is true of non-empirical intuitions. Therefore, given your own definition of what constitutes, you could say sameness, or two things being the same, they would have to be different.
I guess. So you don't understand. Obviously, I agree that you can't
What's your
have those
objection?
immediate. Obviously, you can't have those intuitions when you don't have anything to observe. The immediate
Okay,
intuitions.
so
But I
that's a
made that.
fact which is true of
I made that
empirical
distinction
intuitions.
way early on in the
So they're
conversation.
different.
I said that
So
those
they're
immediate
different.
intuitions are different from
So
the
they're different.
intuition that will be mapped out
You
to the
said
object.
that for two objects
Not
A
the
and B to
immediate
be
one. There you
identical,
have a
all the
zero,
facts which is true
or
of
the one
A
that
has to be
happens
true of
later.
B and vice
The one
versa.
that's from
Well,
abroad.
that's
I
not
already
the
said
case,
that
Bill.
before. Bro, oh
You
my
said the
gosh.
verbatim. I ask you, yes or no, is it the
I said that
case that
obviously
all
you can't
facts
have the
which is
immediate
true of
intuition
A
if there's
has to be
zero
true of B
empirical
and
facts.
vice
That's
versa
trivial.
for
I'm
them to
saying
be
that
the
there's
same
several
thing?
types of
You said
intuition that
yes,
map
that
out
is
to that
the
one
case.
thing.
Verbatim. What
Okay.
are you talking about?
Bro, both me and you agree that there's different types of intuition. I'm saying that obviously the immediate intuition is not
So you
there
agree
if
they're
there's nothing to
different types of
observe. I'm
intuitions. You
saying
agree they're
that
different
the
now, but you
process
just
by
said a
which
while
you
ago
would
they're the
observe
same
the
thing.
a
You
priori
said they're the
things
same
can be the
intuitions.
same by
You
which
said they
you
were not different.
identify
But you
of
said they were
intuitions
not
about the
different.
a
But you
posteriori
said they were
things
not
or the
different.
empirical things.
You said they were not different, but now agreeing they are different.
There's different types of
Prove
intuition,
it.
you retard. Holy fuck. What's hard about that?
We're talking about non-empirical intuitions and empirical intuitions, retard. You said specifically
I'm
that
saying
they
that
were
the
not
process by
different.
which you
Now you
attain
said they are different. And
intuitions to
your
be the same by which
definition of
the
what
same
makes
things
two
or
things being the
intuitions that
same thing
map
is
out to
based off the
empirical things,
idea that for two
empirical
objects to be
phenomena.
the same
That's
thing,
the same
all the
fucking thing.
facts of one has to be true of the other and vice versa. Now you're agreeing that it's not the case that all facts of non-empirical
Dude,
intuitions
you're
will
not
be true
tracking
of
at all.
empirical intuitions and vice versa. You're agreeing that they would,
Dude,
by definition, given your
the
own
immediate
definition,
intuition that you get upon
given your
observing
own
something,
definition,
yeah,
they'll be
that's
different.
not the only
Given
thing
your
that
own
goes into
definition, yes,
observing an
they'll be
empirical
different. So you
phenomenon.
can see the
Or that's
point.
not the only
So you're
intuition that
talking
goes into
about
observing a
on your own
non-empirical phenomenon or
definition, dog.
empirical
Given
phenomenon.
your own
Sorry,
standard of what determines something be different, you'd
you're
have to
not
agree
tracking
that
at
they're
all.
different.
You are
If
not
you
tracking at all.
just agreed
You are
that they're
not
different.
tracking at all. You're not
You
tracking at
said
all.
I'm not track when you just conceded
Yeah,
your
we
point and
made the
literally
this.
that's
You
what two
understand, bro?
minutes. That's
Stop.
crazy,
I'm
bro.
gonna pound
If
this
you
into your
think
head.
your
Stop.
whole
I'm
if you
gonna
think
pound
you
this into your head.
saying to someone
Stop.
that
I'm
you're
gonna
not
pound this into your head.
saying to
have found this
abstract and you
yet.
think that's a counter argument, then you're retarded, bro.
Stop
If
speaking.
you think
Stop
that's a
speaking.
legitimate
Stop
response,
speaking.
you're retarded.
Stop speaking. Stop speaking. Stop speaking. Stop speaking.
Stop speaking.
We,
Stop
yeah,
speaking.
okay, thank you.
Stop
So
conceding your point.
you
Make the
understand that we
language
made the
affect you more enough
distinction
to allow
between
you to
abstract
finish your
intuition.
sentence.
You can have the immediate intuition and have a
So
broader
you
intuition
agree
that's
that they're
not found in
different.
the vehicle
So you
object.
agree they're different.
With the
Oh
immediate
shit.
intuition,
This
obviously,
is
that's not was the
crazy.
question.
This
Dude,
is
I agree that the immediate intuition is
crazy.
different.
You
But the
just
reason why I'm saying
agreed
is
that they were
the
not
reason for
different.
why
Now
I'm
you're agreeing
saying the
that they are
empirical phenomena
different.
is more easily
Now you're
explained
agreeing
is
that they
because
are different.
there's
You
more
said
intuitions
verbatim
that go
that
into
they
it.
were.
There are more
You
intuitions that
said
explain
verbatim
it.
that they
There's
are
an
in fact
immediate
not
one that you
different.
get upon
Now you're
observing
agreeing
it,
that they are
and then the
different,
same
given
type
your
of
own
intuition that you
definition.
get upon observing a priori things or being present.
Shit, this
Yeah, like
guy's
hello?
crazy.
Right on.
This is crazy, bro. This is
You're not
actually
tracking at
embarrassing.
all.
You said
You're not,
originally that
bro. You're not
you're not
tracking at all.
checking. You're not
There's
checking.
different types of
Hey, look
intuition. I
at
agree
my
that
guys.
one of them is
I'm
not
Gyro, and I'm
identical.
saying,
I don't agree that the
that you're
other
not
one, the more
tracking
broad
different
one,
within the
is going to be
conversation.
identical.
Yeah, dude, saying that someone is not tracking is not a legitimate counter argument, dude. Anyways,
Do
moving
you think
on
that's
from
the only
that,
thing I said?
you stated the original that they were not different.
It's not the
Now
only
you're
thing I
agreeing
said.
that they are in fact different. So that's an automatic concession on your own points, retard. So moving on from this,
Brother,
we can
that
get
was
back to
never
the
a
original
concession.
point.
I don't
You said
disagree that the
verbatim
immediate
that
intuition
was a
there is going to
consensus.
be
You said you
different from
asked me
a
to prove
priori
the claim
intuition.
that there
I'm
were
saying that
different, retard.
there's
Did you
more
forget
intuitions
that
that go
part?
into mapping
Did
out
you forget
onto
the parts of the
empirical
conversation
things
which you
or
verbatim
empirical
asked me to
phenomena.
prove
That's
the
all I'm
claim
saying.
that they were in
That's
fact
all I'm
different,
fucking saying.
retard? Did you
Right.
forget the parts of the conversation which you literally asked me to prove the claim that they are different?
Christ, dude. Yeah, the
Did
broader
you forget
intuition.
that part?
The
Yes or
only
no?
reason for why I'm saying, dude,
Yes or no?
you don't
Answer the
understand what I'm saying.
question, you
Do you
dishonest
understand why I'm saying
bastard.
that it's
Yes
better
or no? Did he
explained?
not
Because there's
forget
more
this
intuitions
part?
that go into. There's an immediate intuition and
You
there's a broad
asked me to
intuition.
prove the
I don't
claim
agree
that they
that
are
the intuition that
different.
would be explaining the a
You
priori
asked me to
phenomena
prove the
would be
claim that they are
different than the one
different,
that's
correct?
explaining the a posteriori phenomena
Did you
broadly.
not ask me to prove the claim that these types of intuitions are different? Yes or no?
Broadly, no. I just explained to you why.
Broadly, what are you talking about? Broadly,
There's
yes. You asked
we
me
made
this.
the
You asked me to prove
distinction.
the
Bro,
claim.
stop.
You asked me to
Dude,
prove this
Christ,
claim,
you're so
and then
retarded.
I asked you
There's an
which
immediate
claim, and then
intuition.
you
There's
said
an
the claim
immediate
regarded
intuition.
me
Then
making
there's
the
non-immediate.
distinction between
You
empirical
understand that's
and
the distinction you
non-empirical
made, and I agree
intuitions.
to.
So that was the
That's
claim
the
that was in
distinction you
contention.
made,
That
and
was
I disagree
definitely a
to.
contentious point because you
You are
contended the
so
claim that
retarded.
they are different
I'm saying that
intuitions,
the
and then after
non-immediate
contending this,
intuition
and
is going
after
to be
verbatim saying
explained
that
in
they
the
are
same
not
way. It's going
different,
to have the
now you
same
agree that they're
process
different.
as the a priori intuition. You fucking
No, you
retard.
said
Holy fuck.
verbatim that they're not different, and then now you're agreeing that they are in fact
Told this
different.
guy.
So that's a concession and a backpedal on your original claim, dog. This is
Dude, are you
crazy.
retarded? Are you retarded? You made the fake laugh is so corny, by the way. You made the distinction between immediate and
Will
non-immediate
someone get
intuition.
this guy back into the lab, bro?
I
This guy is
disagree that the
trash as fuck,
I
bro. Oh
disagree
my
that the
god,
non-immediate
this guy's terrible.
last week.
Oh my
I
god,
disagree that
you
the
don't even
non-immediate
remember your own
intuitions
claims,
are
bro.
going to be distinct. I agree that the immediate intuitions are going to be distinct. Obviously, you
Look,
can't
dude,
have
you're just
immediate
struggling
intuitions
right now.
about
Look,
things
with
you
the
can't
help you have,
observe.
retard.
You
So
can't
just
have
to be
immediate
clear on this, you
intuitions about things
conceded
you
the
can't
point
observe. That's
regarding
trivial. We
them
agreed on
being
that
different. Let's
in the
move on.
start of the
So let's get
conversation.
back to
You
the bridge
brain
point.
fucking
Now,
moron. Holy
regarding
fuck!
what you're saying specifically about bridge
What's
claimants
wrong with
being
this guy?
something which is reflective of the majority, you'd have to agree that in that specific case scenario, you would not be able to prove that this is a generality fact. It's not something which is reflective of a generalization, correct?
What exactly?
So you're just lost in the conversation. Do you need a
What
map to
exactly?
trace it just back
No,
into the
I didn't
conversation,
hear what you
retard?
said. I literally didn't hear
You're
what you
so
said.
retarded. Now, moving on from this, I'm gonna
I
do this
literally,
one more time.
dude, I
Okay,
literally
so
did not hear
regarding
what
the
this guy
claim
said. What are you talking
that
about?
Birch
Like, what
said,
the
right, when you were talking about the idea of observable phenomena being easier to explain than the
He's just
non-observable
not gonna
phenomena,
repeat what you
okay?
said, or
Regarding
I'm just
those
not
claims
gonna repeat what you said.
specifically, are you making the claim, or do you agree that that claim specifically is either universally true or genuinely true?
I told you before, I'm not sure.
So you're not sure. So then that means it is not the
Yeah, that's
case that
irrelevant
it is
because I'm saying that the
definitely
specific
the
concept
case
you
that
disagree
Birch
with
claim
in
is
the debate
correct.
is going to be
That's an
different.
easy concession. You
Dude,
stated
oh my
that Birch
gosh.
claim is widely
Do you
known,
understand what
but
I'm even
you're not
contending?
even
Do
sure
you
if
understand
Birch
what
claim is even
you don't
correct right
understand what I'm
now.
contending?
You're
Hold
not
on, let
even
me
sure if Birch claim is even correct right now, bro.
dude,
You
oh my gosh.
stated that
Stop.
what you
Stop
mean
speaking.
by me
You're
being
you're not
confused about a
tracking at
given
all.
concept is the
Dude,
very fact
I'm not
that
talking
I
about
don't know what
rigid
something which
specific
is
or overarching
widely known.
argument. I'm
But you
talking
don't
about a
even know that,
specific
Peter.
concept
You,
that
you're
you
literally saying you
question.
don't even know
You
what he's
question
talking
something
about. What are you
retarded. I
talking about,
explained to
bro?
you why it's retarded. Now you're losing on that. I don't care about his argument being true or not. That's totally irrelevant to me.
Do you understand that if you're going to say that you're not sure of whether Birch claim is correct, then you cannot criticize me for being agnostic on that claim by
No.
questioning
I
that
think that
specific
that
claim?
claim is correct. I don't think his overarching argument is correct. Obviously, I'm a
Are you
realist. Obviously, I
stupid?
disagree with that.
I
I
was
think that
asking you
I
about
think
this
that
specific
asking why
claim.
stance
I wasn't
dependent
asking
reasons
about this
are
argument a while
more
ago when you
less
said, I'm not
less
sure.
forgiving than
I was talking
independent
about
reasons
this
to retarded.
claim, not
Yes,
this
sorry, my
argument.
bad. Most people would disagree with that.
My bad. So you're gonna change your response to I'm not sure to oh yes, it is the case.
Sorry?
This guy's what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you have ADHD?
I have ADHD. Dude, you speaking,
You
I can barely
definitely
understand
do
what
have
you're saying.
PhD. Now,
I
I'm going to
can
re-ask the
barely
question.
understand what
So,
you're saying. And
regarding the
most of which
question
I
when I was
barely
asking
understand what
you,
you're saying as well.
when I was asking you, is it the case that it is
Yeah.
universally true, or in most cases, is it true that empirical
I'm not
phenomena is
sure. That's
easy to
irrelevant. That's
explain
not. I'm
than
attacking
non-empirical
specific
phenomena?
concepts with the
When you
debate.
said
Then
when you said in
when you
response to that
shadowbox
question
about the
that you're
type of
not
position being
sure
different,
if that is
then
true,
you're a
when
retard.
you said in response to that question that you're not sure if it is true, that would be a
Yeah.
concession on you not knowing the same thing which you claimed originally to be widely known.
That's
Don't you?
not what I never claimed it's general, by the way.
You said that you
Hello?
said not sure when I was literally asking you for a position on Birch claim. What are you talking about, retard?
Oh my gosh.
If you said
I
you're
said
not
that.
sure
I
on a
said
given
that.
subject,
I
then
said that if
clearly
you
you're
ask me
conceding
about
that you
Bridges'
don't know
argument,
what it is.
then obviously if most observable phenomena is better explained than non-observable
You said
phenomena.
you're
And
not
that was
sure
from
that is the
Bridges'
case,
position.
correct?
But then the reason
Yes
for
or no?
that is
Did you
because
not
there's
say?
more
Did you
intuitions
not
that's
say
mapping onto
verbatim? I'm
that
not sure.
observable
Did you
phenomena.
not say
The reason
verbatim?
for
I'm
that
not
is
sure.
because they needed intuition
Did
and
you
not
not
needed
say
intuition.
verbatim?
You
I'm
agreed
not
to that
sure.
distinction.
Did
You
you not
agreed
say
to that
verbatim? Yes or
distinction, you
no?
created
Did you not
fucking moron.
say I'm not
You
sure?
agreed to that distinction. Did
Did
you
you
not?
not say verbatim? I'm not sure. Just take your time, retard. Answer my question.
Oh my
Did you not
gosh.
say I'm not
Dude,
sure?
I,
Yes
I
or
I
no?
remember I
Yes?
said I'm not sure. I'm not
Okay,
sure
so
about
you
what you
did
asked
say
me
this.
about.
And do you remember the question
Yeah,
you
what are you
responded to
asking
when you said
about?
I'm not
What are you
sure?
asking about?
Here's the
What are you
question
asking
you
about?
responded to, by
What
the
are
way,
you
when you
asking
said
about?
I'm not sure. The
Dude,
question
I
you
said I'm not
responded to,
sure
by the
several
way,
times.
was me asking if
I'm
you
not sure
agree
what
with
you're
that
talking about
generally true or universally true. And I was
Dude,
talking about
oh my
British
gosh.
claim, not his argument. So if you agree that you're not sure
Dude,
on
that's
British
so
claim
irrelevant. You're
regarding the
totally retarded.
veracity
What
of
the
that
fuck?
claim, then you
This
have
guy
to be
retarded?
agreeing that you don't even know British claim to be correct.
Dude, oh my
We have the
gosh.
same stance
Do
in
you
freaking
do you
subjects,
understand
retard.
that my
You
opinion
just
on
agreed to
Bridges'
my
argument is
position,
totally
bro.
irrelevant? When I'm saying that you questioning a specific concept that Bridge brought up is retarded. I don't care about his argument. That's retarded. Holy
So
fuck.
you understand that, in other words, you agreed with the same thing which I was saying the entire time.
No, oh my
You're
gosh. If
gonna
that's
say
what
that
you were
you're
talking
not
about, then
sure.
you
If
just
I
chatted
if
about
I
it the
ask
whole
you
time.
what's your position on British claim and your response is I'm not sure, then you
No, no,
can't
no,
say
that's
that
not what
you
I'm talking
know
about.
that British claim is correct.
On something being generally better explained, yeah. I think that obviously they're generally better explained.
So
I
you're
just give you
not
the
sure
argument for that.
about the claim that Bridge said.
Wait, hold on,
Period.
hold on. Are you asking me? Hold on.
Because
Are you asking me about?
that
Are
was
you
your
asking me
original
about
response.
observable phenomena being
That
better
was your
explained than
original
non-observable phenomena?
response
Because
to
I
my
agree that
question.
they're generally better explained. That's why I'm saying you're retarded. Obviously,
So you're
if
saying
that's what you're
you're
asking about.
retarded because I concede the XYZ point to literally prove
No,
your
I didn't
position.
consider anything.
That's
I'm
your
saying that
argument for me
if
being
you ask me
retarded?
about that claim
That's your whole
specifically, obviously
argument
I agree
for
with
me
Bridge.
being
I think it's
retarded?
generally going to be
Okay,
true. I
so
don't think it's
triple
universally
timing
true. I
conceded the
think it's
same
generally
point,
going to be
which
true.
literally entails a
The
position
reason for that is I
let
gave
me
you. There's
talk to you,
more
dude.
intuitions mapping out to that thing. Like it's very simple.
Do you understand that you can't make that claim if you're going to say I'm not sure of whether or not Bridge claim is correct?
Christ, I just told you. If you're talking
You
about the
said you're not
general
sure
part,
on Bridge
then I
claim,
agree
and
that
now you're
generally
moving
they're
away
going
from
to be
that claim to a
more
new
and
claim
better
because you
observed. You
realize the
fucking
first
brain the
agreement
degenerate.
literally
Holy fuck,
entails
what's
that
that?
my
Like,
belief is
what is
correct.
wrong with you? Like, actually, like, what is wrong with that?
What is wrong
I'm
with
saying that
me? I
generally
should be
they're better
asking you that
explained.
question, moron.
They
You don't
are
even
better
track what's going
explained
on,
generally.
dude.
You
You
dumb
literally
fucking
agree
bitch
with
retard.
several different propositions, and then you don't even understand the consequences of agreeing with these propositions.
Christ. Oh my gosh. Did you hear what I
Oh,
said?
he's lost
Or
for words.
no? I just told you several times. You just need me to repeat it several times. Do you want me to repeat it again?
I don't need you to repeat anything again, dog. I just need you to acknowledge your concessions, bro.
Hey, I can repeat it for you, man. He's appealing to qualitative parsimony here, and then you're bringing up Leibniz's law when he's just gonna be taking Peter Geach's
No,
account
because
of relative
bro, this
identity.
guy's a retard.
What's up,
No, no,
bro?
Apollo, you understand that I
Don't
agree
believe
that
this
generally is
reply,
going to be true.
holy
That's why I'm
shit.
calling you a retard. Then you shadowbox the intuitions. I told you why it's actually going to be generally better explained. And then you just lost in that. Like it's simple.
So you're saying by that is not going to be generally better explained. You're talking about the empirical phenomena or the non-empirical phenomena. Which one is it?
The non-empirical phenomena is worse explained.
Okay, and your response or your argument for this is you stated specifically that there is something which is used when you're explaining the empirical phenomena, which is not used when you're explaining the non-empirical phenomena. Do you remember that part?
Yeah, obviously.
And do you also remember the parts where I flipped that same logic back onto you by explaining why there's also something which is used by the non-empirical phenomena, which is usually not used by the empirical phenomena?
I disagree with that part. That's the point.
So you disagree with the idea that the intuitions used by the non-empirical phenomena is different from the intuitions used by the empirical phenomena?
Not the immediate intuitions. We made that distinction in the
Okay,
start of the
so there's
conversation.
something which is used by the non-empirical phenomena which is not used by the empirical phenomena, correct?
No, not really.
You just said a while ago that the immediate intuitions, those things specifically, would be different.
No, because bro, that's the point. That's why I'm saying
Okay,
that
so there's
the
something used
observable
by the
phenomena is better
non-empirical
explained.
phenomena which is not used by the
The whole
empirical
reason for why
phenomena.
it's
What are
better
you
explained
talking
is
about,
because there's
dude?
more intuitions mapping onto it. That's
You
the
just
point.
said a while ago that there's something which is used by the non-empirical phenomena
That's not what I
that
said.
which would be different
That is
insofar as
not what
it
I
is
said.
different than the
That is
immediacy.
this is the
Isn't it?
track of
You
fucking doom.
agreed verbatim on
This is
this
the track
recording
of fucking doom.
after
This is
literally
the
showing
track
you
of
the
fucking
same
destruction.
things that the non-empirical
Hey,
intuitions
can
are
someone stop
different
directing this
from the
guy? He's
empirical
just not tracking now.
intuitions. What are you talking
Okay.
about, dude?
You're not tracking, dude. Like
Is
what
it
the
the
fuck?
case that non-empirical intuitions are different from empirical intuitions, Gyro?
Dude, oh my gosh.
Is it the case?
No,
Yes or no?
no,
Yes or no? They're not
no,
different. They're not different. But you
no.
just
I
said
think there's a
verbatim
different type of attention that
previously
goes
that they
into
are
mapping out
different.
to
You said they're not
observable
different.
phenomena. That's why it's better
Sir,
explained.
I just
Hello?
want to make this clear for everyone who's
Seriously?
listening to this stuff. You just said verbatim they're not
Dude,
different.
what's wrong with
Okay?
this guy?
I'm going to give you the fact one more time, which makes them different. Okay? Here's the fact, which establishes that they are different. Okay? Given your own definition of what determines two things to be the same thing, all facts of one has to be true of the other and vice versa. Now, if I was to give you a fact which is true of non-empirical intuitions, which is not true of the empirical intuitions, then given your own definition of what determines sameness of two given objects They'd have to be different. So here's the fact one more time, retard. The fact is, it is logically possible, or it is theoretically possible, for there to be a world where there's no sense experiences, and you still have a world with non-empirical intuitions. But that's not the possible in the case of the empirical intuition. So give me
Dude,
your own
do
definition,
you
you're not the same, dog.
understand that there is a distinction in intuition? I agree that there's the
So
immediate
you agree
intuition
there's
that
a
goes into
distinction, so there
observing
would be
observable
different. So
phenomena,
there would be
but I disagree with the
different.
broader
So there
intuition and
would
the
be
non-immediate
different.
intuition
So there
being
would be
different with the
different.
thing that explains the a
So
priori
there
phenomena.
would be
I
different.
disagree with that
There
part.
you go.
No,
So
that's the
why did
point.
you say
That's
that
why
they're
the
not
observable
different
phenomena is
after
better
then?
explained because that thing is not
Then
present in the a
proceeding to
priori
agree that they
phenomena.
are in fact
That's the
different.
point. That's why
You
it's better
agree there's a
explained.
distinction, bro.
Christ, obviously I agree there's a distinction. Not in that part though. I agree that's why it's actually better
You
explained.
said they're not different. You said no, they're not different, but then you're agreeing there's a distinction. And the
Yours,
thing
yours,
where
better.
if you have two objects and there's a distinction between these two objects,
Bro, what
then
the
necessarily by
fuck?
definition they are
Dude,
different, dog.
the broad intuition is not
You're
different.
retarded, bro.
The broad intuition is not different. I agree that
You
the
just said
intuitions
they
have
were
mapped
not
out
different,
to
then you
the
agree that
empirical
there is a
phenomena because there's
distinction,
an
which
immediate
entails them
intuition.
being
There
different.
is an immediate
That's
intuition
the
that goes on to
discussion, bro.
explaining it. There is no immediate intuition such as that, which goes on to explaining a priori phenomena. That's the point.
Holy fucking yap, bro.
That
Do
is
you
the
even understand
fucking
what's
point.
going on right now? Holy yap,
You,
you
dude,
retard. What I'm
guys,
saying
you are
here is you
retarded.
can't be
Okay,
saying
why are you
on
crashing?
one
Stop
hand
crashing.
that they're
Stop
not
crashing.
different and then agree
All
that
I'm saying
there's
is
a
that there's a
distinction
distinction
which
between
by
immediate and non-immediate
definition
intuition.
entails them being different. If you're
Christ.
going to say that there's a distinction which I've established
Oh, I disagree with there
successfully,
being a
then you
distinction
have to
between the
agree that they
broader
are
intuitions.
different.
There's
You'd have to
there's
agree
not a
that they're
distinction between
different.
the broader intuitions.
You
There's not
can't
a distinction
say
between the broader
that it is the
intuitions or the
case
non-immediate
that
intuitions.
there's no distinction and then agree that there is in fact a distinction, dog. That's a contradiction, bro.
You,
It's a
dude,
contradiction.
you understand that me saying that the immediate intuition is not present in the a priori
So you
phenomena.
agree that there's
It's
a
not the same
difference.
as the
They're different.
non-immediate intuition being different. I'm
They're
saying that the
different,
thing that
dog.
would be explaining the
Yeah,
a
they're
priori
different.
phenomena
Yeah, you can
would
see
be
this, dog. Yeah, you
non-immediate.
lost, dude. Moving
No, I
on.
disagree with the
Yeah, moving
non-immediate
on,
intuition
dude.
being
So
different.
moving on,
The
dude.
non-immediate
So they're
intuition is not
different.
different. That's the point.
She
That's
doesn't even
that's the thing
address
that
the
explaining the
fundamental
a priori
points here,
phenomena
bro.
without the immediate intuition. So with both combined, obviously it'd be better explaining the observable phenomena.
Dog, the point of the matter is simply that you agree there's a distinction between non-empirical intuitions and empirical intuitions
I
after
just no,
claiming that there's
no,
no
I
difference.
disagree. No, no, no.
You just said that there was a distinction, correct?
Between the immediate intuitions, there's no immediate intuition for the non-observable
Between
phenomena.
the immediate intuitions being the non-empirical and empirical intuitions, retard. They're both immediate, retard. All
No,
intuitions
no,
by
you made that
definition are
distinction.
immediate.
No, that's a blunder.
You
You
think
made
you
that
have
distinction in
non-immediate
relation to the
intuitions? Are you
empirical intuition. You
stupid?
said that
Do you even know
empirical.
the
You
definition
said
of
that
intuitions
immediate
in
intuition is not
philosophy, bro?
present in the non-observable.
All intuitions
That's
are
what you
immediate by
indexed the suspicion
definition,
to.
you
You said that
retard.
the
All
observation is
intuitions are
literally the
immediate, you
immediate
moron.
intuition. That's what you
Every
said.
single
You said
intuitions
that
are
you said
immediate.
verbatim that the
Intuitions
immediate
by
intuition is the observable
definition are
intuition.
immediate, you
Trivially, if
moron.
you can't
It's not
observe
grounded
something,
in
then you won't have the
inferences
observable
because they're
intuition. You're the
non-inferential
fucking
states of
moron.
the mind, you dumb
What the fuck?
idiots. What are you talking
Wait,
about?
bro. What the
What are
fuck
you
is wrong with
talking
that?
about, bro?
Dude, this is insane. Do you understand that what you
This is
said
so
prior in the conversation
embarrassing,
is that
bro. You're
the
like
immediate
saying, oh,
intuition is going to be
between the
the
immediate intuitions, well,
observable
by
intuition, is going to be
definition,
the observation.
intuitions are
So
immediate.
when you say that,
There's no
when
such
you
thing as
say that,
non-immediate
and you talk about
intuitions. What are
non-observable
you
intuitions,
talking about?
trivially, you don't have that immediate intuition there. Trivially, trivially,
Dog,
trivially. Holy fuck!
trivially, you agree that they're all immediate, correct?
No, fuck! What the fuck is
You
wrong
don't
with
agree
that?
with that? You're so
No, I
retarded.
don't agree. I
You
do not
don't agree that
agree.
intuitions
Fuck!
by definition are immediate?
I do not agree.
You're
Oh my
so
god!
retarded.
Fuck!
Dog,
What
you're
is
just
wrong with this
making up
guy,
definitions which don't even
dude?
conform with the literature, bro.
What
You're
the
just
fuck is
embarrassing
wrong
yourself
with?
even
Someone
further
stop this
knowing
truck,
this
bro. This
conversation
guy's
is
insane.
in progress, bro. You
Someone
think
stop
it
this
is the
guy.
case that you have non-immediate forms of intuitions. What's your definition of intuitions, bro?
Oh my gosh. Let me just point
Oh
out the
my
blunder
gosh, is your
first, okay?
definition?
No, I'll tell you the definition in a second. Do you understand the blunder you just made? You said before in the conversation that the
There's no
observation
blunder,
there would
retard.
be grounded in the immediate intuition. So you directly index the immediate intuition to the observation. So when you don't have the observation, trivially you don't have the immediate intuition. Is that not simple?
How is this refuting the idea that intuitions by definition are immediate?
Bro, because oh my gosh. Then you just first of all, that would just that would be a
That
concession
sounds
about you not having intuitions
Hey,
about
that was
the
a W response, Gyro.
non-immediate with the a
Oh my
priori
god.
phenomena.
Oh
That would
my
be
gosh.
first of all,
Oh
that'd be a
my
concession.
god.
That'd be a concession, by the way.
What a great
But
argument.
besides, I don't agree with all intuitions being immediate, by the way.
Because you don't know anything about intuitions and you're retarded, got you. So what's your definition of
Yeah,
intuitions?
it's better, man. I've got it.
I'm
Sorry?
glad you agree you're retarded. So
Can
what's your
someone say
definition
this
of
right, by the way,
intuitions?
because it's just retarded.
What's your definition of intuitions? Sorry?
1 second. Wait, are we still talking, or because you just got some?
Bro's gonna chat GPT this one, bro.
No,
That's
I'm not. I'm
crazy.
not charging anything. I just don't want to talk to you anymore. Can someone save this rec, or like, is it saved already, or? Mm. Oh my gosh. Mm. Dun, 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 dun.
Aston, you suck at that game. Turn that shit off.
Is it
Wait,
even
someone kicked me
safe,
bot?
bro? Where's the recording? Someone you stopped the recording, bot, bro. That's crazy.
Yo, you guys
Yes.
want the recording?
Yes, I will. Yeah, please, yeah.
Say please.
Please, baby.
Okay, just because you asked nicely.
So I'm just gonna say somebody got extremely axiomatically, fundamentally destroyed in this good faith discussion.